have to interrupt you here. We are just going to come back to all of you because we have a special guest this morning, the former Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe. Thank you very much for speaking to CNN News 18. I've been seeing your memoirs. I have been seeing your tributes, which you played to Dr. Manmohan Singh. When was it that the first time that you met him, and what was your first impression about him?
The line is not clear.
Mr. Wickremesinghe, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I was reading your tributes. When was the first time that you met Dr. Manmohan Singh? And in fact, what was the first impression that you were left with when you immediately met him for the first time?
I met him for the first time in 1992. I called to meet Prime Minister Narasimha Rao. I was the leader of the House, and Minister of Industries who had introduced the second generation economic reforms. When I met Dr. Manmohan Singh, firstly what struck me was that he was not a politician. He knew his subject, he was cool, he was calm, and he had the ability to steer the Ministry of Finance through the vast reforms that were taking place. My discussions with him was firstly on how we opened up in Sri Lanka, the reactions we had, and I said yours are going to be much worse because the Congress government's, Congress party's affiliation with many other left-wing groups and with the trade unions. And secondly, I also told him how I have brought in the second generation of economic reforms and the problems that were associated with it. He appreciated it. He asked me a number of questions, and I left with the impression that a very, very thoughtful person who's worked this out and who was determined to stay it through. When we opened out in 1977, President Jayawardena had Mr. Ronnie DeMille as his finance minister, and he also took a similar approach. So I was really heartened by it. I met him again the next year when I visited India again after I became Prime Minister. And he briefed me on the progress that was taking place. So I said, look, we must all try and work together to bring these reforms.